Hey, what's good, champions? Arian Tyson here. Listen, I wanted to shoot this video because I had the honor of speaking on a podcast last night that's going to be released real soon. And we were talking about healing, and we were talking about the different aspects of healing: physical healing, emotional healing, mental healing, slash mental health. And we come to the conclusion that most people's mental health is trash. And it's a big thing right now when it comes to, checking our mental health and making sure that it's good because oftentimes it's not. And a lot of times there are many people that are in denial of it and they just try to avoid it or make it seem like it's a figment of their imagination. And so I want to share with you in this video some painful truths we often forget. And if you get value from this video, feel free to like, comment, and share this video. Most of us can't handle the truth. And I often think about that famous scene in the movie A Few Good Men where Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson are going back and forth. And Jack Nicholson, sa- Jack Nicholson says, "You want answers? You really want answers? You want answers?" Tom Cruise says, "I want the truth." Jack Nicholson responds by saying, "You can't handle the truth." And most of us cannot handle the truth. But here's the thing about the truth. The truth does not vanish when it's forgotten or ignored. You know, you know how you can hear something 100 times in different ways before it finally gets through to you? What I'm going to share is going to remind us of timeless lessons most of us learned years ago, likely, or have been reminded of since, but for whatever reason, we haven't fully grasped them yet. So, this is my attempt in helping all of us, myself included, get it and remember it once and for all. So, let me share with you in this particular video four painful truths we often forget. Number one, the average human life is relatively short. Today is my oldest brother's 50th birthday. It reminds me of the fact that my brother has now outlived one of our uncles. I had an uncle pass away before the age of 50. He was less than 2 months away from his 50th birthday. My uncle Jerry passed at the age of 49 years old on May 21st, 1999. Had he lived to July 6th, he would have turned 50. He didn't make it. Now we know deep down that life is short and that death will happen to all of us eventually. And yet we are infinitely surprised when it happens to someone we know. It's like walking up a flight of steps with a distracted mind and misjudging that final step. You expected there to be one more stair than there is. So you find yourself off balance before your mind shifts back to the present moment and how the world really is. Let that be a reminder. Let that reminder be your wake up call to live your life today. Don't ignore death, but don't be afraid of it either. Be afraid of a life you never lived because you were too afraid to take action. Death is not the greatest loss in life. The greatest loss is what dies inside you while you're still alive. And in life, you can be comfortable or courageous, but not both at once. So be bold, be courageous, be scared to death, and then give yourself a chance to take the next step anyway. Another thing, another painful truth that we often forget, to a great extent, you live the life you create for yourself. Now, I'm thinking about my brother, and my brother is retired. He was able to retire before the age of 50 because of the life that he created for himself. He served in the United States Navy for almost 29 years. And he missed out on a lot of things, but he's been able to travel the world. He's been able to live as far away as Japan. And he has set himself up in a position to where he does not have to work. Work is not mandatory. It's optional now. And most of us only dream about being able to say that. But I salute him because he was able to make it happen unconventionally, but he created the life that he wanted. And your life is yours alone. Others can try to persuade you, but they cannot decide it for you. They can walk with you, but they cannot walk in your shoes. So make sure the path that you decide, the one that you decide to walk, aligns with your own intuition and your own desires. And don't be scared to switch paths or pave a new one when it makes sense. That's what he did because he went to college for 1 year, dropped out of college, and then went to the Navy. He later got his degree, but he had to switch paths. And remember, it's always better to be at the bottom of the ladder that you want to climb than at the top of the one that you don't. So be productive and patient and realize that patience is not about waiting. It's the ability to keep a good attitude while working hard for what you believe in. Yes, at the end of the day, this is your life. And to a great extent, ladies and gentlemen, it's made up of your little recurring habits and choices. May your daily actions speak louder than your words. May your life preach louder than your lips. May your success be your noise in the end. Painful truth number 3. Being busy does not mean being productive. There is a difference between being busy and being productive. Busyness is not a virtue, nor is it something to respect. And though we all have seasons of crazy schedules, very few of us have a legitimate need to be busy all the time. We simply don't know how to set boundaries. We simply don't know how to prioritize properly. And we simply don't know when to say no when we should. Being busy rarely equates to productivity these days. Just take a quick look around. Busy people outnumber productive people by a wide margin. And since the pandemic, it's gotten even worse. Busy people are rushing all over the place and running late half the time. And so that's something to take heed to, something to think about. What do I mean? They're heading to work, They're heading to conferences. They're heading to meetings. They're heading to social engagements. They're looking at their phones all the time. They're creating TikToks, etc. They barely have enough free time for exercise and they rarely get enough sleep. Yet, text messages, emails, social media updates are blasting out of their smartphones like rockets. And their day planners are jammed to the brim with obligation after obligation after obligation. Their busy schedule gives them an elevated sense of importance. But just like perfection, it's an illusion. They're like hamsters running on a wheel. Though being busy can make us feel more alive than anything else for a moment, the sensation is not sustainable long term. We will inevitably, whether it's tomorrow or on our deathbed, come to wish that we spent less time in the buzz of busyness and more time actually living a purposeful life. And then finally, for this video, another painful truth that we often forget is that some kind of failure always occurs before success. Hence the saying, it's always darkest before dawn. Most mistakes are unavoidable, most of them. But you got to learn how to forgive yourself. It's not a problem to make them. It's only a problem if you never learn from them. If you're too afraid of failure, you can't possibly do what needs to be done to be successful. When I was a kid, I had a fear of failure, so I know what it looks like. Not anymore, because the only way that you could truly fail is to not even try. The solution to this problem is making friends with failure. You want to know the difference between a master and a beginner? The master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried. Think about that. Behind every great piece of art, there are dozens of failed attempts to make it. But these attempts are simply never shown to us. The bottom line is, just because it's not happening to you does not mean it never will. And learning the way on the way is the key. Sometimes things just have to go very wrong before they can be right. So I wanted to share that with you today. I hope it was of value to you. If it was, feel free to like, comment, and share this video. If you have not already done so, subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell so that you can get notified when I upload new content. Thank you so much for those who recently subscribed to my channel. And thank you for those who continue to rock with me. I love and appreciate you all. As always, in life, you have two choices. You can make moves or you can make excuses, but you most certainly cannot do both. It's yours truly, Arian Tyson, and I will talk to you on the next one. Peace.